Okay, let's go to a more advanced function in Excel. That is the SumIf with an S function, with an S. That means you can put multiple criteria into one SumIf function. So the first argument of a SumIf function is the range to be summed, and all subsequent argument are pair, range, and criteria. So to get the total sum of legs of animal with wool exterior, type in equals SumIf. So C2 to C6, C6 is the range, which is here. That's what you want. You want the total legs, right? So that can be the total legs that will come from column C. So C2 to C6. And then based on that, you need like a pair of criteria. So the first criteria is from B2 to B6, where the value is wool. So if it's wool, then it's correct. So for here, if you want to sum column C, anything that have wool in column B, then you add them up. So this one is 4 and 4. So if you calculate this into like an actual cell, it will be 8. But for this example, it just wants you to type in SumIf, comma C2 colon C6 comma B2 colon B6, and then comma, double quote, wool, right? And make sure that it's case sensitive inside the it's not case sensitive with the spelling here. So that's all it wants you to do right now. So click enter, and that's right. Next, so to get the total number of legs of animal with wool exterior and 2 eyes, you have to type in here. So again, SumIf, what are you looking for? You're looking for number of legs, so column C. And then, what is the criteria? The first criteria is wool in column B and 2 eyes in column D. So you type in this. So equals SumIf C2 C6 comma B2 B6. You're checking that one for wool, right? And then you're checking D2 to D6 for 2 eyes. So for 2, since it's an integer, you don't really need to put the quote around it. So that's how that function works. Okay, let's see. So use the SumIf function to get the total number of eyes for animal with exoskeleton exterior and more than 6 legs. So here you should pause, think of your answer, and then once you think you have it, come back and see if you get it correct. Okay, so you think you got it correct? Let's see, right? It should be, first of all, SumIf with an S, right? What are we looking for? We are looking for the number of eyes. So where do we have the number of eyes? We have in column D. So the first one you have to do is D2 to D6. That's the number of eyes. Now we'll have to check for what? We'll have to check for exoskeleton exterior. So for exterior, animal exterior, it should be exoskeleton. So that you check from column B2 to B6, right? And what do we have for it? It's called exoskeleton, right? And then what else do we check? We check for more than 6 legs, right? So for the legs is column C, so C2 to C6, right? Comma, and then what do we have? More than 6. So double quote, more than 6, double quote, and then close parentheses. So make sure you always close your parentheses. Parentheses always come in pair. So if you have 2 open, you need to have 2 closed. So when you use parentheses, make sure you have it closed correctly so that Excel can kind of like compute your formulas. Okay. So I think I got it correct. Did you get the same answer? Let's check it. Right. Yep. So that's correct. So if you have the correct answer, good job. This is kind of like it's starting to get harder now. So this should be like an intermediate level for Excel. Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so the SumIf also allow wildcard matching for text. Now again, I have another video about wildcard, so if you want to refresh on it, you should check that video out. But to get a total sum of legs for all animals that start with an S, right? So again, all legs here, legs coming from C, right? And then A is where name of the type of animal, and it needs to start with an S and then an asterisk, so anything be after it. So it's gonna add the other legs for shrimp, spider, and sheep. Okay, so if you type in that, then some if then it will allow you to get all the legs of all the animal start with an S. A2 to A6, 6 comma S, and then the wildcard. Sorry, double quote and then we're just gonna check your typing on that one. It's not gonna give you the exact answer, but if you type this into Excel, you're gonna get the 10 plus 8 plus 4, which is like 22. Anyway, move on. So use SumIf to get the total sum of legs for all animals that start with an SH. Okay. So now pause. Think of your answer, and once you think you have it, hit the play again and see if you get the correct one. So it should start with SumIf with an S, open parenthesis. What are we looking for? We're looking for legs, so C2 to C6, right? Comma, and then we're looking for starting with an SH, so that's A2 to A6, right? Comma, and then open parenthesis. Again, remember it's not case sensitive, so I can go SH like that, and then what do I have to do at the end? So it's just need to start with an SH. It doesn't tell you how many characters you need to do. So the wildcard you have to use in this case is the asterisk. That could be any number of characters, right? So close parenthesis, so close double quote, and then close parenthesis. So now it's gonna add anything that's SH, so it should be like sheep and shrimp, right? So we're looking for legs. That's right, C2 to C6. Checking for the animal in A2 to A6, and then the animal start with an SH, which is shrimp and sheep. That's right. So if you get it right, congratulations. Let's see, we got it right. Okay, now move on. Now use the SumIf function to get the total number of legs for all animals that start with S and have more than 3 eyes. So we have 2 criteria we have to fit in this equation. So pause, think of it a bit, and then once you think you have it, come back and play to see if you get the right answer. Okay, so you always start with equal SumIf, right? Open parentheses, we're looking for legs. So again, C2 to C6, right? Comma, and then what are we looking for? We're looking for the animal that start with an S. So in order to do that, we have to look in A, so A2 to A6, comma, right? Start with an S, so go double quote S, and then they didn't tell you how many characters, so you have to use the wildcard asterisk. That's the first one. So A2 to A6, that start with an S. Alright, next, and then you have more than 3 eyes. So eyes is in column D, so D2 to D6, and what are we asking? More than 3 eyes, so double quote, greater than 3, double quote, right? And then again close with the parenthesis so that the equation is complete. And if you have that correct, congratulations. That should be the the way the formula look like for choosing for the number of legs for animal with starting with the S and 3 eyes. Next, so use a SumIf function to get the total number of legs for all animals that have 2 eyes and more than 4 legs. Now this is a bit tricky. Let's see. So typically, so pause, and then once you think you have the answer, just play again. Let me try to see if I can get this right. So equal SumIf parenthesis. First of all, you want to sum all the legs, so C2 to C6, that's the leg, and then you have more that have 2 eyes. 2 eyes, so go to eyes, so D2 to D6, and then it's gonna be 2 eyes, and then comma, and then more than 4 legs. So I think I should do this. So that's checking the leg again for more than 4, right? More than 4 legs. So this should be correct, but I think there might be some kind of syntax correction. So let's check if this is right. Oh, that is right. Okay, so C2 to C6, checking for the legs, a pair of, how many eyes, 2 eyes, and then a pair of criteria, how many legs, more than 4 legs, right? So that's it for this SumIf. I'll try to work, try to work more and see, test around more with the SumIf function. And if you have a question, just leave a comment, and I'll try to answer that as soon as I can.